Thanks for staying with us at STL Live. I'm Sarah Thompson, and we are discussing St. Louis ovarian cancer awareness with Susan Robben and Dr. Premal Thacker. Again, thank you both for being here. I want to I think you have an interesting position, obviously. You're the executive director, but you're also a survivor.
I am.
And I mean, you bring, obviously, your own story to this. Tell me a bit more about that.
Needless to say, very passionate about the cause and the mission, which is to raise awareness of the signs and symptoms in the community, fund research, and support survivors. I was 23 when I was diagnosed, and that's pretty unusual. And I had all the classic symptoms, but they weren't on my radar. They really weren't on my primary care physician's radar. And that was 30 years ago. Yeah. So I like to share my story, especially with women, with survivors, women who are newly diagnosed, because I have a wonderful outcome, and I'm very happy, to be able to now support this cause as an advocate.
Because you've been through this. How long was your treatment?
My treatment was about a year, and as an inpatient, I think protocols have changed a lot
we've advanced
as treatments do. But I'm very lucky, very fortunate. But I do understand.
No, and I'm sure that you bring that personalization to the programs of SLOCA. And Dr. Thacker, that's a great entry point. I know on the website there's a logo that says, or there's a graphic that says, watch the 4 signs. So what are the 4 signs?
So the 4 signs are, they're vague symptoms. And I think that's what sort of makes women, not really realize that these are the symptoms potentially of ovarian cancer. So they're just like pelvic pain, abdominal bloating, a fullness, urinary frequency, or urgency, and so, or you feel full quickly. So these symptoms you don't necessarily have all, like Susan had. You may have 1 or 2, but I think as women sort of age, I think these are just natural sort of aging symptoms as opposed to really symptoms of ovarian cancer. And you really need to be an advocate for yourself. And I think that's what we hear more and more from our patients, is that, they really need to sort of speak up, because sometimes the doctors are just, especially primary care physicians, may not realize putting 2 and 2 together, saying this could be really a gynecologic cancer. So I think, you had to be your own advocate, and these symptoms need to not be just sort of.
And so you speak up when the symptoms are persistent?
And usually we like to say lasting for 2 to 4 weeks, so, and almost daily or quite frequently, many times in the month, because if you have something that's just a GI bug, it'll go away like in a day or 2, and so we really just want you to listen and sort of take advantage of knowing what the symptoms are, because 22,000 women will be diagnosed with ovarian cancer in the United States, and we'll lose about over 14,000 women a year. So we do proportionally lose a lot more women compared to how many are diagnosed. And so we are making breakthroughs with the help of SLOCA, because all these great events we're talking about funds research. A lot of that research money in dollars stay here within the community. So I feel like that's a great thing too, because communities always like to feel like they're giving back to their own community. And so I can say I was a recipient of one of the great grants and fundraising that SLOCA has done. Several of our faculty members, it's gone to SLU, it's gone to, within the community. So I think that's another part these women don't always brag about themselves, but really should, that everything that they do helps dollars for people in the community.
No, that's really interesting information. And I noticed another thing when I was on your site where it said, and I thought this was great for navigating, where it says, I am newly diagnosed. You could click there, or you could click on I'm a caregiver. Obviously, I want to donate, and then I want to help. And I think it's so important during treatment. And this, I think, speaks to, I want you to elaborate more about who can call you, who can contact you. If you're a caregiver, as well as someone who's just been diagnosed, who should reach out to you?
Right. Well, really, we do get a lot of calls from women who are newly diagnosed, and we're thankful that they even know of us and know that there is a community and network and organization here to support them and kind of rally around them. So it usually starts there. And as they're kind of going through treatment, when they're well enough, they then tend to want to do something. Well, I had these symptoms. I want to help give out your information at a health fair or a community event or a wellness day. And they think that that's important, and they want to share their story with the community to educate and be a resource. And then their families really, piggyback on to what they're going through as well, and attend the night at the ball game, and it just grows and grows. But we are, in my opinion, a tight-knit community. And I think when you even go to the run with 2,000 friends and family and healthcare professionals, people do see a lot of the same people around this community doing some of the same things for this great cause.
No, I think that's wonderful, and I think for anyone listening to this at home that you should reach out and head to their website. So I'm going to put that information up there. It's sloka.org. It's right there in the lower left corner of your screen. Obviously, the big information on the screen is the 5K and 1 mile walk and run, which is coming up in October. Write that date down. That's Sunday, October 14th. But for more general information, we've referenced the website a lot during this interview. Head to sloka.org. I think it's really easy to navigate, and it's meant to be that way, and you can become a part of this family that we've talked about and learn more about research and what to do next. And thank you both for being here, and just keep up the amazing work that you're doing, because it's obviously very needed. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, well, we're going to have more STL Live right after this. Please stay with us.